While Shakira was busy gyrating her hips in ways we'd need a chiropractor if we'd attempt, Spain's government was plotting on our favorite SheWolf in a tax fraud case they'd been cultivating for quite some time. Between the years of 2012 and 2014, while Shakira was out and about living her best life, according to Spanish prosecutors, she was caught lacking on her citizenship duties and forgot to pay $15 million worth of taxes. Except she didn't forget, and Shakira is standing 10 toes behind her belief that she doesn't owe Spain a dang thing. Not Shakira, Shakira! Grammy Award-winning Latin superstar Shakira has had quite the career spanning decades, leaving Colombia's restraints behind at the age of just 19, with high hopes of settling into her dreams as a global recording artist. With a lengthy resume of hits under her belt, Beyoncé's better half in their joint Beautiful Liar collaboration appears to have reigned true to that title and ours. Her hips don't lie, but them taxes do. When word of Shakira possibly facing an 8-year prison sentence hit the net faster than photos out of a celeb's hacked iCloud, we were taken aback and completely shocked that the good sis was in such a predicament. Literally, our good sis has had such a beautiful track record throughout all these years. Scandals were kept to a minimum, drama kept out of the limelight, etc. Just good old-fashioned talent and entertainment on Shaki's part. But as the saying goes, not everything that glitters is gold. In 2018, reports of Shakira owing millions in unpaid taxes had our brows raised and ears perked up. But once the revelation of her potentially spending 8 years, that's approximately 2,922 days, mind you, in Spain's cell blocks came about, we hypothetically choked on our soup. What could Shakira, out of all people, possibly have done to deserve such treatment? Well, let's get into it. Between the faux Armageddon years of 2012 through 2014, while y'all were catching Z's, Shakira was catching flights in and out of the country of Spain. During this time, prosecutors are arguing that Shakira spent more than half of her time within the country, while Shakira, on the other hand, insists that she didn't exactly live in Spain during those 2 years, with a corporate filing potentially backing her claims, listing her as a resident of the Bahamas instead. $15 million is what they're demanding, and $24 million is what they're striving to receive when the case goes to trial, since Shakira boldly rejected a settlement deal from the prosecutors. If found guilty, Shakira could possibly face up to 8 years in prison, plus an additional fine, but her lawyers are confident no such actions will take place. Her representative released a few statements stating how Shakira has always been cooperative and a follower of the law, demonstrating impeccable conduct as an individual and a taxpayer. The 17 million euros Shakira owed and been paid can attest to just that. On top of being accused of pulling a fast one on Spain's legal system, Shakira is also being accused of using shell companies operated in tax havens. Now, for those of you who aren't too familiar with what a tax haven is, don't worry, because I'm about to break it down for you. As you probably already know, the super rich and wealthy sometimes find loopholes in order to avoid paying their share of taxes, like the rest of society. Thanks to Western governments, lawyers, accountants, and all the other nuances in between, the uber rich can sometimes get away with not picking up their slack, which is where the not so wealthy come into play. Covering, or not, the differences leaving treasuries needed to build schools and roads and prepare for existential threats like pandemics and climate change. This is where tax havens make it all possible. The rich keep their money owed to the government in order to build intergenerational fortunes and multinational companies, use the fortune to reward shareholders, and weed out smaller competition. Confidential files can disclose that Shakira used the island of Malta to transfer music rights worth more than $30 million. Confidential files can disclose that Shakira used the island of Malta to transfer music rights worth more than $30 million. and also has her listed as the sole shareholder of the Maltese company. Nevertheless, Shakira's lawyers claim that it was all done in legal requirements. Confidential files can disclose that Shakira used the island of Malta to transfer music rights worth more than $30 million, and also has her listed as the sole shareholder of the Maltese company. Nevertheless, Shakira's lawyers claim that it was all done and met legal requirements. Those same files also show that she's been linked with companies registered in 2 European countries, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, that are also considered tax havens. According to the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, Shakira's use of offshore or shell companies had been scoped out and brought to light in 2017. Not only was Shakira's name caught in between the mix, but other celebs like Madonna were also exposed for using shell companies with hopes of lowering their taxes or shift profits, to which they've all denied. A shell company, no, not the gas station, is a corporation that doesn't run any active business, operations, or assets. It exists only on paper, has no office or employees, and may hold bank accounts or passive investments. With the type of corps these are, they aren't necessarily illegal, no matter how much it sounds suspect. However, they are sometimes used in non-legitimate ways, to hide business ownership from authorities or the public, for example. Additional shell companies registered in the British Virgin Islands, another known tax haven, had also been linked to Shakira. But hold on, I know this all doesn't seem to be looking too hot for Colombia's finest, but according to her reps, the only reason why Shakira used offshore companies was due to the majority of her income flowing in from outside of Spain. They also claim Spanish tax authorities are all aware of the companies. Although Shakira claims to have been sporadically in and out of Spain, professional soccer player Gerard Pique, based out of Barcelona, may just be a big reason as to why Spain isn't letting up on Shakira's neck. Chiropractor, anyone? Supposedly, Shakira had actually brought a home in Barcelona in 2012 to get even more closer to Gerard, her longtime, now ex-boyfriend of 12 years and father of their 2 kids, Sasha and Milan. The house eventually ended up becoming the family home, allegedly, Shakira residing in the home whenever she touched down in Spain. With Gerard being a Barcelonian resident, the link between him, Shakira, and Spain is one huge open opportunity for prosecutors to justify their stance. And if found to be accurate, they could have a chance at raking in the 24 milli they're wanting from the Colombian pop star. Oh, so they think. Supposedly, Shakira didn't officially move to Barcelona until 2015 and would stay with Gerard whenever she needed a place to reside for the moment. Will Shakira actually end up behind a jail cell singing whenever, wherever, whenever and wherever? We surely hope not. Truthfully, only time will tell, and as of right now, the case has yet to solidify an actual trial date. Spain's tax authorities are not playing about their money, and Shakira's reps think that they may just want a piece of her international touring money as well as some of that revenue she made while being a judge on the NBC singing competition show, The Voice, that she'd been filming on and off during the same time frame they were alluding she lived in Spain. Jumping from being accused of not paying $15 million worth of taxes to seeking almost $25 million in fines, plus an almost decade-long prison stay, might I say, is quite suspicious to say the least. And although it may not entirely prove Shakira's rep's point about Spanish prosecutors being more money-hungry than a corrupt businessman hitting a blunt, it does, however, give us a glimpse into what this case has in store. They claim that she was a resident sitting comfy in these Barcelona streets, while Shakira's reps claim that she wasn't an official citizen, just because her man at the time was. Besides, she's a global celebrity. It wouldn't be too out of the ordinary for someone of her caliber to collect homes in every country like a game of Monopoly. Looks like Gazelle, if you know, you know, has found herself in one hell of a situation, and we're just hoping everything plays out exactly how it should. whether that be in Shakira's favor or the courts. Could this all possibly be just one huge misunderstanding? A total mix-up? But on whose end? Well, that is the million-dollar question, literally. We won't know until this case officially goes to trial. Do you believe Shakira is innocent? Are Spanish prosecutors grasping for straws? Do you think she should have settled, or do you think Shakira is more guilty than a baby caught with their hands in a cookie jar? Let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. And stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.